All right. Good morning. Thank you so much for attending our webinar. And those of you watching at home, thank you very much for listening. We're really excited to chat to you a little bit about our upcoming self-compassion retreat in Thailand with Dr. Chris Irons. And I know there's been a lot of excitement and a lot of questions, so that's why we're here today to just introduce ourselves and meet you and let you know what you can expect should you decide to join us, which we would be delighted to have you along with us. And so Chris is with us this morning. Good morning, Chris.
Hi, everyone. Lovely to see you as well, Tally.
Thank you. And thank you for giving us your time. I know you're a very, very busy man, so we're delighted that you've given us an hour or half an hour just to go through all the bits and pieces and answer everyone's questions. We've had a lot of questions from people all over the world, and we're very excited to try and answer them. Should you have any more after the webinar, do let us know, and we'll definitely answer them for you. So I'm just going to dive right in and take you through the itinerary. And if you have any questions for Chris throughout, a little bit about the content. I know not all the content is right there, since we're a good kind of 9-10 minutes out, but I know Chris has done this before, and he'd definitely be able to answer your questions. So I'm just going to go on ahead. So our dates that we're looking at is the 1st to the 7th of March 2026, and we are staying at the beautiful U Pattaya resort in Thailand, and that is in the Pattaya area of Thailand. It's about an hour outside of Bangkok, an hour and a half. Is that well, it's an hour and 45 minutes, something like that. Yes, Perinda has a question. Yes.
Well, I think it's about
it's about 2 hours.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Perfect. So, it's about 2 hours outside of Bangkok. So, should you want more information about how to get from Bangkok to the resort, I know that we had discussed about arranging, if there's enough interest, arranging some kind of a shuttle bus from Bangkok to the resort, and so we could all arrange a time together that we can meet there. Everyone hop on the bus, and then we'll be waiting at the resort to welcome you on the other end. So that's something that we'll be discussing together as a group. Once you have signed up, then you'll get an invite to our both our WhatsApp group, which is a great way to just quickly ask a question. We'll be sharing photos, sharing updates, and so on, and you'll be able to meet your fellow retreat attendees. And then we'll also, closer to the time, I'll open up our retreat app, and in there there'll be loads of opportunities to share course materials that I know Chris can share with you, and also you can instant message people on their own, individually, should you have questions, or if you're coming alone and you want to share a room, or if you want to organize an excursion together, you can use the app to do that, and it kind of prevents then, closer to the time, loads of WhatsApp messages pinging through your phone. So that's why we open up the app. It doesn't ping through. So we can talk more about that as well afterwards, or later on in the presentation. So what you can expect, well, you are going to be involved, or participating in a 6-day immersive retreat, and it is immersive because all of the things that we have planned for you are intentionally planned. So every activity is intentionally put there, thinking about the self-compassion model. So we haven't just randomly picked activities. The whole feeling and the whole ethos of the retreat is to take care of you, you take care of yourself, and let us take care of you as well. So I know Chris is going to be taking care of your mind and your heart, and hopefully I will take care of everything else, along with the resort and the beautiful location. So that's the idea. So hopefully we can fulfill that. And so we will be getting 28 hours of CPD or CEU eligible content, and that is through those workshops that Chris will be taking you through. And we're going to go through the day-to-day itinerary. And so, Chris, if I can ask you a question now. So if you're somebody in a caregiving role, because we're going to the next bit here, the tailored for professionals in a caregiving role, why might you want to join us, or what should they expect to kind of get out of the retreat?
It's a great question, Tally. I guess one of the most significant things that all of us recognize in being in the caregiving field is that our day-to-day job, of course, is being there for other people, and essentially our jobs involve compassion. That's what we do. We are sensitive to other people's suffering, and we try to take wise steps to try to reduce it in various types of ways. And of course, that's a really strong motivation for everyone, and it's a wonderful, very privileged position. But anyone who's ever worked in some sort of caring profession also knows that this can be an exceptionally difficult role to take, that every single day, basically, you're going into people's pain, their distress, their suffering, and that is difficult. It's difficult to hear some of the stories, it's difficult to work with some of the pain, and of course, at times it's not possible to alleviate and reduce people's distress. And so that's a very difficult experience to be as a human being, where you want to help people and you're not able to. And so one of the things, of course, that we recognize in the compassion focused therapy model is that compassion can flow in different directions. So one flow is this typical one from me to my clients. I want to alleviate their distress, want to alleviate their pain. There's a second flow, which is when I am struggling, can I be open to receiving and taking in other people's kindness and care? And that's certainly something that we will be touching on within the retreat and focusing on, because there's a lot of evidence now showing that when we're able to do that, that actually is very protective and healthy for us. And then finally, of course, there's a third flow, and that third flow is self-compassion. And I guess the interesting thing there is that for many of us, you know, we spend far less time being compassionate to ourselves than we do being compassionate to other people in our lives. And the fascinating thing, of course, though, is that you spend more time with yourself than you will do with anybody else that you'll ever meet in this life. So there is a deficit often of people being able to meet their own distress, recognize it, connect with it, tolerate it, and then find helpful, wise ways to deal with it themselves. So the whole retreat really will be set up thinking about the reality of our working lives, even more broadly than that, just the reality of being human, how we can use the CFT model as a very powerful way of understanding ourselves and de-shaming and beginning to find ways to bring more balance to our emotional systems, to allow us to slow down and begin to tap into this sense of rest and restoration. And then more than that, really, I guess, really begin to see if we can cultivate a real strong, compassionate, wise approach to ourselves. And I think one of the beauties about the retreat is that it's the content, having done this many, many, many times now in Thailand, the content is in itself very, very powerful, but there's also something about the environment. There's something about being in Thailand, being in very beautiful settings in which there's a lot of peacefulness, a lot of rest, beautiful nature, smells, sounds, the sensory aspects there. So what we're going to be trying to do, of course, is bringing all this together, that the content of the actual retreat itself will be powerful and transformative. The environment that people will be in will be soothing, calming, and connecting. And of course, there'll be some wonderful people, including yourselves, there caring for our participants, so that this can really feel like a place to come, slow down, restore yourselves, recharge, learn about yourself, learn the power of bringing this compassionate motivation towards ourselves. And by the end of the retreat, feel ready to be able to go back out into the world, but feeling that you are doing it from a grounded and stable place.
Yeah, and there is something, thank you, Chris, there is something about that self-compassion piece, that flow to self, which actually the very first step is to decide, I'm going to go on this kind of a thing, you know, whether it's this retreat or a different retreat. It is that that is the first kind of opening the door to self-compassion, is allowing that to come in. So we do hope that you give yourself that gift, because these retreats are transformative, you know, and we, in all of our retreats that we do, our compassionate, you know, whether it's compassionate mind or advanced or whatever it is, you know, those WhatsApp groups, they're still alive, and we still connect with each other. It is an experience we've all shared together, and we are a family that only us have been there in that space at that time, and it is very, very special. And I don't want to go on about it too much, but take my word for it. But there is something that happens when you have a facilitator like Chris that can open those flows up, and then you're in this beautiful with like-minded people, and you're sharing these incredible experiences. It is very, very special. So we're really looking forward to it. And so on the daily, you can expect workshops from Chris, yoga, and then reflective practice. And there's going to be plenty of space to recharge, reconnect, and to grow. And we have built in lots of restorative practice time, and whether that means that you need, because of the work that's been done, to take some time on the beach on your own with a book, or dip in the sea, or whatever it is, or you want to go and explore. So we're going to talk a little bit more about what you can explore and some activities and so on that we have for you. So we'll move on to the next bit. Thank you, Chris, for that. So on the first day of arrival, so check-in, I'm just going to turn this music off. Let's see too loud. So the check-in is from 3 p.m. and that is on the Sunday, the 1st of March. But we had said, or we have suggested on the website that you take into account jet lag. So I'm gonna, Parinda, if you don't mind, I'm gonna call on you, because Parinda is an attendee of ours that has attended our retreats in. Parinda lives in Thailand and she's helping us with some things on the ground there. But she's also attended our retreats in England and in Ireland, and she can talk a little bit about the jet lag and maybe some advice. I didn't know I was going to ask her this, so I'm sorry. Going ahead, if you don't mind, Brenda.
Well, yeah, the jet lag, I don't know, like normally I would try to have like the first day when I arrive, like if I'm flying eastward, like coming back from the UK, coming from the UK to Thailand, I will have like the first day or first couple of days like relaxing, not doing much. Doesn't mean that we are not doing anything at all, but just try not to be anything heavy on the head. So I think like if people are attending this retreat, if they can come like before, it would be a good time for them to have like one full day to recover. And
so you think maybe 2 days before, so maybe come on the Friday? Would you recommend people maybe come on the Friday, the end of February there?
Not necessary, but if they arrive on Sunday morning or Sunday noon time and try to get to the hotel by 3 p.m., that would be quite challenging.
Yeah. So if so thank you for that, Parinda. So I think that's something to note, because you don't want to be absolutely exhausted. You want to be able to take it all in. So yes, if you arrive a couple of days before, I think we're planning on arriving maybe the Saturday morning kind of thing, maybe leaving. I live in Ireland, so leaving Ireland on the Friday. So so then 3 to 5, you can just have a chance to explore the grounds, meet people, and because we're on the WhatsApp group, you'll be able to say, oh, I'm over here, is anyone here? I'm at the bar, is anyone want to meet us? So at 5 o'clock then we've got our workshop, our first welcome workshop with Chris, and then we're going to share a meal together at the resort at 7 o'clock on that first night. So then moving on to the first full day together, the Monday, the 2nd of March. So we're going to start with a sunrise yoga on the beach, and that is at 7 a.m. And I know that Parinda, who's on the ground in Thailand, she had said that is the optimal time, although it seems early, and I was like, 7 on my retreat. And apparently that's the optimal time because of the temperature. So it's not too hot at that stage. And then afterwards, you can just plunge yourself into the ocean. So it is a real treat to have something like that and a nice full day. And then we have so your breakfast is included in your price of your room, so you can then have a leisurely breakfast, and then we'll see you at 9:30 for our morning workshop with Chris, and we're going to share lunch at the resort, and then we have an afternoon workshop that afternoon, and then at 6 o'clock onwards, then you are gifted some personal restorative time. You can have dinner wherever you want at your leisure, and there's beautiful night markets that you can go and taste the street food and explore. There's obviously the restaurant at the resort, and we'll provide you with lots of options should you be stuck. And then what usually ends up happening is we all kind of pair up or group up and nobody's alone. No one's left alone unless they want to be alone, and then that's absolutely fine. So you'll always have somebody to share a meal with, should you choose to do that. You might be really tired and just want to go to your room and sleep, or room service, or you might want to just spend the evening in the ocean. Totally up to you. So Tuesday we have we don't have the. Oh, sorry, Perinda, going ahead.
I just want to stress that breakfast and lunch is included. Yeah.
Yes.
Breakfast for 2 and lunch for the participants. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Perinda. Yes. So whatever is included is on the website. So should they want to have a look and make sure, then that's on the website as well. And sure, just drop me a line and I can explain that all. Thank you, Perinda. So on the Tuesday, then we've got our morning workshop. There's no yoga on the beach, so you could have a lie-in and have your breakfast in bed should you choose. And then morning workshop with Chris, and then lunch. Again, lunch is included at the resort. And then on this day we have we stop our activities at 2:30, and you have the rest of the day and evening for personal restorative time, or to do some cultural activities and have dinner at your leisure wherever you choose. So some of the cultural activities, or what we have decided to do, was because there's so many different interests, is put out a list, and I'm going to go through that list with you shortly. And then as a group on the WhatsApp group or on the app prior to, we're going to generate intro, we're going to take your whatever you're in, whichever cultural activities you're interested in. We're going to take a poll and see which ones have the highest interest, and then we're going to book them for you. And you do have to pay for those. They're not included, but they're a nominal fee. They tend to be quite affordable, actually. So, maybe 10, 15 pounds, something like that, or $20 US, or whatever it may be. So some of the activities are, we have the options of having a Thai cooking class, or there's beautiful gardens around, and I'm going to butcher the names, so I won't say them, but you can take a private fishing charter, or there's an island called Monkey Island, which really piqued my interest when I heard about it. I think Perinda hadn't even heard about it, but as soon as I heard Monkey Island, I was like, what? So there's an island where you can just take a boat trip there, and it's just populated by monkeys, and you hang out with the monkeys for a little while. You can go snorkeling. There's a sea turtle conservation center. You can get a Thai massage, which is highly recommended and very affordable. And then, or you can engage in an art lesson on the beach or inside, or whatever. So all of these details, then as we get closer, we can register your interest and then decide which ones we want to do, because we have another day like this on the Thursday, and we'll take you through that as well. So there'll be opportunities to do all of these if you want on your own, or together, or some of them together, and we can talk about the logistics of them. So then on Wednesday, we have our sunrise yoga on the beach. Again, that's included as well. And then we have our morning workshop with Chris, lunch at the resort again. We have our afternoon workshop with Chris on this day. And then we have a group dinner at a local seafood restaurant, which is on the beach. It's absolutely beautiful. It's like out of a picture book. As the sun goes down, it is really, really beautiful. Or maybe the sun will be down. So that is your Wednesday. Thursday is another personal restorative day. So although we do have a morning workshop with Chris and lunch at the resort, the rest of the day again is for you to explore, and we'll have another cultural excursion planned, whichever one we decide together as a group, that you can either join or not join. Again, it's all optional. Feel free to jump in though, Perinda or Chris, should you want to, as I go through this. And then on Friday, which is our last full day together, we've got our sunrise on the beach again, morning workshop with Chris. We have our lunch at the resort, and we have another afternoon workshop, which will be our final workshop, our farewell workshop. And then we will share a farewell meal, and we're going to the resort is putting on a barbecue on the beach for us that evening, and we are going to spend the evening together to say goodbye and I guess reminisce about all the amazing memories we've all made. And then on Saturday morning, we are checking out and wish you safe travels back to wherever it is that you're going. So we do have quite a few questions that have come through, and I know that there may be questions here on the webinar today. So I'm going to take you through them, but before I do, is there anything, Chris, you would like to add, or Perinda? No, we're okay. Oh, wow, that's wonderful. So, okay, so the first question that came through was, are excursions included in the price? So the answer is no. They are, all the core inclusions are listed on the website, and we're arranging the optional excursions as we talked about before. They're paid separately. I'm not gonna read this whole thing because I've already covered it. And we're going to do all the organizing for you, so don't worry. You're just going to say, yes, that sounds amazing. Yes, I'm interested in that. Snorkeling in Thailand, absolutely. And then we will sort it for you. So it really is, the goal is to make it as easy and as enjoyable for yourselves as possible. Since you're coming to have some self-compassion, let us take care of you. So, so that is great. Pick that one. The next question, are there different room options available and prices? So there's a lot of different rooms. If you go to the website, you'll be able to see them all listed, and then just email me and I will give you the prices of all of them, or just say I want to know the prices of all the rooms. I know some of you have already done that, and then I'll just give you all the rooms. You can make an informed choice and we will book it for you on our end. So if you're looking to book accommodation, the hotel wants us to deal with that, so that they have less admin. So we're going to be taking care of, just tell me what you want and I will get it sorted for you. So I'm not sure I can afford this. Is there a payment plan? This is a very popular question because it is a considered purchase. You know, it's not, you know, £20. It is something that you have to save for. So because of that, and, you know, my company is a small company. I can do whatever I want, and I want people to experience this because I know how special it is. So we do tailor the payment plan. If I have had people who have paid over 2 years because this was something that was on their bucket list and they really wanted to attend, and that's no problem. You know, I have your address, I know where you live, so I will. I'm happy for to have a payment plan for over 2 years, because otherwise I will come and find it. I was joking. But yes, so think about the total cost, and then divide it by whatever amount you need to make the monthly payment manageable. We are 9 months out, so we can do it over 9 months, we can do it over a year and a half. So have a think about that. What we don't want is the cost to be the only thing that stands between yourself and opening that door for self-compassion if you need it. So is that okay? Is that everything okay? So can I attend if I'm not a therapist? So yes, it is open to anybody in a caregiving role or a helping role. If you're working healthcare of any kind, education. I used to be a teacher myself, and I really needed that when I was a teacher and or a social worker. Is there any other roles, Chris, that I'm missing here that might?
Yeah, I mean, there will be, you've got healthcare, and that covers lots of different things, nurses, psychiatrists, there's lots of different occupational therapists, basically any role in which you are looking after the needs, the well-being, the best interests of another human being, and actually it could be not even just a human being. I mean, in the past we've had vets who have come along, because again, the day-to-day job of looking after a living sentient being is hard, it's difficult. So yeah, there's the wide range when it comes to this topic.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, yes, because what I was thinking, that when I heard caregiver as well, I think of a mother, immediately, and it is the ultimate caregiving role. So I just wanted to check with you if that's what you meant as well. So thank you for that. So we have had quite a few requests, and I know particularly from our attendees from America about CEUs, and so I know that there are a group of or a couple of people who live in America who are applying for CEUs, using this information to apply for CEUs so that it counts. So absolutely, we can provide a certificate. And also what we've been doing is I have created a flyer with information that doesn't say the word retreat on it, because we know how important that is to remove that word for those of you who need to get it funded by your managers, and people have been successful to get that funded. So should that be an option, or also for taxes, for tax relief, because this is a retreat, but actually you are doing a lot of work that you can use with your client, that you will use with your clients. Let's be honest, with everything you use for yourself, you will use with your clients. So absolutely, that is something that we can provide. So just get in touch if you have a specific requirement with regards to trying to get it funded by a manager, or at least partially, or for the tax man. Let us know, and we have stuff ready for you there. Can you write this off so that this is a business professional? Yes, I've already covered that. Is it okay to come alone? It's a really hard thing. I don't know if years ago, before I knew all about this compassion stuff, if I would have come alone to something like this. This is a big step, and so it is a little scary, but absolutely, you know, most of our attendees are coming alone, and that means that we're all together, because we're on our road together. So definitely always the most welcoming, wonderful, connected group by the end of it. So I hope that doesn't put you off. And then our price is based on single occupancy, so it is designed for people to come alone. However, having said that, you're more than welcome to come with your partner, and we've created a package for your partner as well. So this particular package means that your partner will be able to share a room and do all the things with you. So do your yoga in the morning, participate on the excursions, have all of your meals together, just not the workshop. So this is everything. Your partner will be able to have everything, avail of all the offering, except for your workshop, and that is £1,200. So if that's of interest, do let me know, and then we can get a payment plan sorted for your partner as well. There is another option, but again, email me with your specific requirement, because some partners don't want to be part of any of the yoga. They don't want to be part of, I think somebody had said, you know, I would pay a lot of money to see my partner do yoga, but he'll never do it. So that wasn't an option for them. So and don't want to be part of the meals. They want to have their own meals separately. We've got different price points for different iterations. So do let me know. I'll email you all the bits that you need. Is there free time? I've already talked about that. So yes, there's lots. We have built it in on purpose, intentionally for you. And so what's included in the cost? We have, it is on the website, but I thought I would cover it. Accommodation, workshops, most meals, especially the ones that we talked, well, just the ones that we talked about. And then whenever something isn't included, we'll say on your own, dinner on your own, and then your yoga. Flights and insurance are not included, and your optional excursions are not included, including your dinners. If you're going out to the night market, or if you're going to a local restaurant, then that's not included as well. Please check the itinerary. And you read dietary restrictions. Parinda has very kindly checked all that with our venues and our restaurants. And yes, they are all approved to take your dietary restrictions into account. Do let us know in advance. And we have no experience with yoga. Is that okay? And absolutely, we have told our yoga instructor that it's a mixed group, and to do something that is going to be tailored to lots of different ability levels. So at this stage, just see if there's any other questions or any extra bits that Chris would like to mention.
Just briefly say a few of those. I've been saying, Ali, please, anybody who's coming on their own, be confident that it's a very welcoming experience. The group really comes together in a really lovely, connecting way. I've known that many people have become really close friends after being on these retreats with other people that they met for the first time. And that whilst we are definitely going to be creating some really important and powerful spaces in the workshop and retreats teaching parts and the experiential parts that I'll be guiding, we'll also be, as we touched on, having some really lovely moments of restoration and slowing down and groundedness and relaxation for you, it's also a lot of fun. There's a lot of laughter, connection, great food, and of course in a beautiful environment. So the whole combined aspect of this is a really, really beautiful thing.
Thank you. So Brenda, you're on mute.
Yeah, I can attest that on traveling solo to the UK and Ireland, and then here I am. Yeah.
And you know, I suppose Parinda helping me out with this is also a testament to how you make connections, because Parinda was, we first met when she was an attendee at one of the retreats that I was organizing, and we became fast friends. So and then together we said, oh, we've got to get a retreat in Thailand, and here we are. So so I mean, this is connections all over the world with people all over the world, and that are lasting. It is very, very special. We can say it till we're blue in the face, until you're not there. You know, it really is it does feel like it's a once in a lifetime. It feels really special, because even if you go again, it isn't the same people, it isn't the same experience, it isn't the same conversations as well. And you know, when you're in those workshops and the things you share with each other, it is really, really special. So we do hope you'll be able to join us, and we'd love to see you there. Should you have anything further, do let us know, and we'll be happy to help. So until then, thank you, Chris, and those of you who've joined the call today. Thank you, Parinda, for joining and sharing your insights. And thank you for your time, and hoping to see you soon. I'm going to stop the recording now, so take care. Bye.